Welcome back again. Manchester United have been handed a big injury boost ahead of their trip to Sheffield United. Sergio Reguilon was pictured training on Thursday, having missed the last 4 games. And Sofiane Amrabat also took part after sitting out Morocco's recent matches. However, Casemiro is not expected to be fit after staying in Brazil to nurse a knock from the international break. Meanwhile, Anthony Martial has months to show his worth or risk walking away from Manchester United. The Frenchman, who has a contract until the end of the season plus a 1-year option, endured an injury-hit campaign last season. Martial has slipped behind summer signing Rasmus Højlund in the pecking order this season, scoring 1 goal in 9 appearances. And according to recent reports, Erik ten Hag and United are unsure whether to extend Martial's contract. United are keeping their options open with the French striker, with much depending on how he performs between now and the end of the season. But his only goal this season was in the EFL Cup victory at home to Crystal Palace. As such, they could let the big-money signing walk away from the club for free next summer. Italian transfer expert Fabrizio Romano has stated that in order for United to cash in, they must offload him in the January transfer window. Martial was linked with a transfer exit away from Old Trafford in the summer, with West Ham and Fenerbahce interested. The Red Devils are reportedly mobilizing ahead of capturing another goal scorer in 2024. One of their top targets is Lois Openda, who has shown for RB Leipzig since arriving in Germany over the summer. But they'll have to battle off interest from both Chelsea and Liverpool in order to sign the £80 million rated frontman. Defenders Victor Lindelof and Aaron Wan-Bissaka are also set to become free agents in the summer. But United are expected to trigger extensions for them until at least 2025. You can subscribe to this YouTube channel. Again and again. Manchester United's squad was reunited at Carrington on Thursday, following the international break. A number of our players were in action for their countries in the wake of the dramatic 2-1 win over Brentford in our last Premier League outing. Sergio Reguilon and Sofiane Amrabat were among those spotted in the group by our official photographers. Reguilon has missed the last 4 matches with a minor injury, while Amrabat was absent from Morocco's games against Liberia and Ivory Coast. Their presence in training is a boost for Reds manager Erik ten Hag ahead of the Premier League game against Sheffield United at Bramall Lane. The match kicks off at 20 o'clock British summertime on Saturday night and is being broadcast live on Sky Sports in the UK. Rasmus Højlund was also in training, after the striker scored with a thunderous finish in Denmark's 2-1 win against San Marino on Tuesday. However, Casemiro was absent, having remained in Brazil, on the club's advice, to recover as swiftly as possible from a small issue picked up while playing for his country. He will be unavailable for Saturday's game with the Blades, but is expected back at Carrington early next week to resume training, although he is suspended for the UEFA Champions League encounter with FC Copenhagen at Old Trafford after being sent off in the defeat to Galatasaray. Meanwhile, this is the 3 reasons why Man United are struggling this season, and 3 tactical tweaks ten Hag can make to fix things quickly. Manchester United sit 10th in the Premier League after a disappointing start to the season. There was a real sense of optimism around the club as the season began, with United back in the Champions League and the squad receiving significant investment. However, poor league form and back-to-back defeats to Bayern Munich and Galatasaray in Europe have left some questioning manager Erik ten Hag. For a club like United, who expect to be challenging on multiple fronts, pressure is even more pronounced as fans start to turn against the team as rivals pull away at the top of the table. With that said, however, there are a lot of positive signs at the club. These have just not translated at this point to wins in the league. In this article, we will look at 3 tactical aspects of United's play that are not going to plan before explaining how these can be improved on. Number 1 is to pressing high as a unit. Number 2 is play more on the counterattack. Number 3 is stop overplaying at the back. So, what does all of this mean? Man United seem to be caught between wanting to play a possession-oriented system and having the players who suit a more direct and fast-attacking style of football. In order to regain form and to start to put points on the table in the Premier League, United's squad composition means they should lean into the latter. By playing in a system that suits the skill set of the team, it is likely United would get themselves back into contention towards the top of the table quickly. Again and again. Sir Jim Ratcliffe reportedly has no plans to sack Erik ten Hag, but he would implement a new off-the-pitch structure. He is keen to appoint a different sporting director, with Paul Mitchell rumored to be a candidate. The transfer chief has previously worked at Southampton, Tottenham, RB Leipzig, and Monaco. So if Sir Jim Ratcliffe does buy a share of the club from the Glazers, it is reported he will take a hands-on approach. Reports suggest that the Ineos owner is planning a 100-day review of the club from top to bottom. Meanwhile, Sir Jim Ratcliffe is reportedly in line to buy an initial 25% stake in United, following yesterday's news of Sheikh Jassim pulling out of the race to take over at Old Trafford. The Ineos CEO initially bid for a majority stake in the club, but adjusted his offer for a quarter after no progress was made with his earlier proposal. Jassim pulled out of the race to own United on Saturday night, after accusing the Glazers of demanding an outlandish price to sell the club. After nearly 9 months of detailed negotiations, the Qatari banker has withdrawn his £5 billion bid and told the Glazers he is no longer interested in any deal. On the other side, Man Utd are yet to make a decision on Anthony Martial's future, according to reports. ESPN claims a new deal for the French striker is yet to be discussed, with his current contract expiring in the summer. The Red Devils have an option to trigger a 12-month extension, but his awful injury record is said to be giving United second thoughts. Elsewhere, according to reports, Barcelona are not trying to sign Jadon Sancho on loan in January. However, Spanish publication Sport claimed the Catalans could try to sign him in the summer, but they would need the winger to take a pay cut. The club are still having to manage their finances carefully. On the other side, Paul Scholes has backed Jude Bellingham's decision to snub Man United earlier on in his career. I think Jude Bellingham, for his age and what he's accomplished so far in his short career, he's better than anything we've seen. We were very close to signing him, but he decided to go to Borussia Dortmund, which looks the right thing from what's happened over the past couple of years, Scholes told TNT Sports. It was a really brave move for him, but he looks such a driven lad, such a determined lad, such a professional player with so much talent. It's incredible, but he's got the temperament to go with it. Nothing seems to faze him. Manchester United planning to extend 3 players' contracts. 8 Man United players are out of contract in the summer, and the club has the option of an additional year with 6 of them. Manchester United are set to trigger the 1-year extensions in the contracts of Victor Lindelof and Aaron Wan-Bissaka in the coming months. Lindelof and Wan-Bissaka are among 6 players whose contracts expire in the summer, but include the option of a 1-year extension that is at United's discretion. Hannibal Mejbri's deal is also expected to be extended as United buy time over a possible renewal. Wan-Bissaka's representatives held discussions about an improved contract prior to the injury he sustained against Brighton on September 16th. The only foreseeable alteration in plans could come if the Ineos group, led by Sir Jim Ratcliffe, assume control of United's football operations by the end of the year.